Go Math 7.5, and today we're evaluating algebraic expressions. So to evaluate means to solve. So up until this point, we've identified terms of the expressions, and we have talked about words like coefficient, which tells us how many of one thing we have, and we looked a little bit at what writing an expression actually looks like. So today, I'm actually going to solve this expression. So they're going to help us out at first because they're going to give us what our variable stands for. So if I had, for example, 2p plus 7 equals what? And then they would tell me something like p is going to be equal to 3. So now I know a piece that I can put in to evaluate my algebraic expression. So this problem, remember, let's keep writing it down, right? 2 times p. Now p is equal to 3, so this becomes 2 times 3. And you might say, well, Mr. W, wait a minute a second. I don't know where this multiplication sign showed up. Well, think of it this way. Whatever p is, I have 2 of them. So now that we know that p is equal to 3, I've got 2 of them, so I need to multiply. This always implies multiplication when I have a coefficient and a variable together, right? So I have 2 times 3 plus 7, and I would say now we go back 2 days to where we had PEMDAS. Parentheses, don't have them. Exponents, I don't have them. Multiplication or division, yes I do. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 7. 6 plus 7 gives me 13. So, if p is equal to 3, the algebraic expression 2p plus 7 equals 13. So let's go ahead and look at a word problem and see what that might look like. We're talking about Mitchell. Mitchell's saving money to buy an MP3 player that costs $120. Now, we do know he starts with $25 and each week he saves $9. So the expression, the $25 he starts with plus $9 every week, plus how many weeks, we don't know how many weeks, gives the amount in dollars that he will save after W weeks. So, how much has Mitchell saved after 8 weeks is our big question. Well, we know that W, it says right here, reading our directions, W equals 8. So, if I need to know how much he saved, over 8 weeks, I know he started with $25, he added $9 times 8 weeks, and we get a total amount. So just to recap some of our vocabulary, 9 is a coefficient of the variable W, because W is going to change. We could use this to solve for how much money he saved over 7 weeks, how much money he saves over 13 weeks. I can change W. It's variable. 9 is my coefficient. It tells me how much I have for each W. And then the other term that I would have, which is a part of the problem separated by addition, subtraction typically, it would be 25 and 9W. So I have 2 terms. I might say this is a word problem as the sum of 25 and 9W. But I'm going to go ahead and substitute for the sum of 25 and 9W. This would be 25 plus 9 times 8. And remember, you might say, well, 9 times 8, why am I multiplying? Because whatever 8 or whatever W is, in this case it happens to be 8, I have 9 of them. So up until this point, we've talked about PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. I want to add up here SPEMDAS, because first you're going to substitute, then do your parentheses. So I've substituted, and we're solving here. Substitution, check. Parentheses, I don't have them. Exponents, I don't have them. Multiplication or division, yes I do. 9 times 8 is 72. As my finger goes through to erase that. 25 plus 72. Now I move to addition and subtraction, and I get 97. So how much has he saved over a period of 8 weeks? He saved $97. Let's take a look at one more, just for good measure. Now, if I have a given variable, so the expression that we have here is 4 times m minus 8 divided by 3 if m equals 14, right? So separating it out, it would be the product of 4 and m minus 8 divided by 3. So that's my word expression. First thing I'm going to do is I know m equals 14, so I'm going to go ahead and substitute all that. 4 times 14 minus 8. And you might say, well, where'd you get 14? It tells me in the directions. You've got to read your directions. 14 minus 8 divided by 3. And it wants me to evaluate, which means solve. Evaluate this thing. So I'm looking at parentheses first, and I'm going to bring down every part of my problem as I solve each piece. Parentheses 14 minus 8 is 6 divided by 3. Now I'm stuck with substituted, parentheses, exponents. I'm in multiplication division. Remember, that is left to right. Doesn't matter which comes first. So I would multiply 24, and then I would divide it by 3. And 24 divided by 3 gives me an answer of 8. Okay, left to right multiplication. So first you want to substitute, putting in the number that it's telling us, the value that our variable is worth, and then use PEMDAS, the order of operations, to solve.